Hello and welcome back, everyone. We're here again with Eli Moore, aka More Than Most, to recap another round of the World Championship. We're going to give some commentary on the match. Today's match is going to be Stephen Walters versus Sam Nathanson. That's Hellkite versus Nathus. And yeah, Eli, thank you for being here with me. And are you ready to do this?
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Let's get started.
All right, let's jump right in.
Okay, so we have a Rumble Spark against Tempest pair. Against, we already saw this, the Healing Necrium, uh, Purple Green. Let's see.
Triple Shambler, right?
Yes, it's the Triple Shambler, and we've got the Forge on the Shambler here. I see there's the shredded Forge from Worlds. Was that Worlds of last year? What
Uh,
the
I think it was
Forges that lost that got torn up?
was it from one of the storyline events? And depending who
Yeah, maybe it was
won,
from the storyline.
yeah, I heard that story. That's a good story.
We see a Leyline Vermin coming down. No targets, just a solid 4/7 body. It's nice to get that fully leveled up. We see a Dreadbolt come out in response. It's nice to see that fully leveled up because it becomes an activate ability on the level 3.
Yep. Yeah, Steven's fully aware of what Sam is playing, so he's obviously thinking the long game here.
We're going to see that Soothing Mantis come out. That's great. There's no target for the life drain, but you still get the healing. It's not a 2 ability, so it doesn't require dealing 4 damage. Then we see a Dark Heart Sorcerer coming down. That is a very pivotal tool for a Rumble Spark deck. It's going to take out that Mantis. With Sam having the Forge, he's really hoping for that Nova Elementalist to immediately flip and get a Rumble Spark embodiment out with that Dark Heart Sorcerer already on the field. We don't see that snap decision, so I'm assuming he doesn't have it, or maybe he's just really thinking it out as a responsible. Uh, he's the reigning world champion in this tournament, coming in from winning it last year.
He's defending his title.
Yep.
He's getting his life counter set up.
Well, you're going to need to do that if you've got a Dark Heart Sorcerer out there. Feel like we might see some triggers come out. Chaining Wurm coming down. No spells out first. So just trying to level that up with an aggressive body.
I feel like Sam that happens to Sam more often than not. He does get the chaining proc on it.
We see a Soul Reap come down in response, is able to take that out, but without having a beast on field, so there's the extra value. We see a Betrayer card here, Shadow's Strength, come out, giving your defender creature stealth here, but and also proccing the Dark Heart Sorcerer. But the cool thing about Shadow's Strength is that as it levels up, it becomes free in level 2 and 3. We see this Wrath's Will being able to be played for free. with the healing from the Dark Heart also going to be causing another Dark Heart trigger. So Sam's got a pretty good play out here this turn. That Dark Heart lives into next turn as well.
Oof. That's a good play by Steven.
Ooh, that's a lot of zombies coming out with that Cersei's Call. We see some zombies trading away. We got this fancy Nexus health tracker. It's going to be the last turn of the cycle. Thinking about that Life Drain and Gale Surge moving into the next turn. See, it's going to play Regenerating Batterhide. That's a great tool to have opening up, giving the Dark Heart Sorcerer's printed text away. I do believe it will live into next turn based on the current stats on board. But if the Rumble is here, the Rumble is sad. And if the Rumble's not here, the Rumble is very sad. All right, we see an Om Nom Nom coming down, killing a zombie, bringing a zombie back. I mean, it really is the epitome of this art. It's just zombies eating a bunch of people eating other zombies. We have the Forge Seal coming down, which is going to hit the Dark Heart with the Life Drain. So a combination of that and the Batterhide will take the Dark Heart out. Ooh, the Dark Heart will be defended.
Right?
Yep, with that Disintegrate. A couple of zombies trading here. Got one zombie hitting in.
Pretty close matchup. Neither player jumping out to a big lead at all yet, so keeping it real tight.
Yep, noticing that zombie did get lost in the trade of battle.
The important thing for Sam is his Dark Heart's still out there now.
Yep, and the Rumble was not seen in the first cycle. That Nova Elementalist was hiding. Importantly, though, the Dark Heart is still out, and Sam will have the Forge moving into this cycle. So hopefully, if the Nova Elementalist does come out in the first hand, the Dark Heart is there to immediately bring out the embodiment.
Yeah. If he can draw that, that'll put Hellkite on the defensive immediately.
I believe those are were those the last winter pre-order sleeves, the digital launch pre-order sleeves? I believe those SolForge sleeves.
Yep, they're from the Kickstarter, yep.
Now I'm seeing not an immediate smackdown of that Nova Elementalist. I don't, but although that would just be me. Sam thinks this plays out a little more than I do. See a Vyrix Embrace come down. Milk an extra proc off of that Dark Heart Sorcerer, though we might see it immediately go away via the Life Drain. Now, also, I believe we didn't see a single Shambler come from Hellkite last cycle.
We did not. We did not.
So those triple Shamblers, we'll see if the low-level Shamblers are going to be able to make a difference in this game. Sated comes out with the buff. Unfortunately, oh no, and yeah, because of the life drain, does also get the +2/+2 of the Ravager, as well as the Sated, and the Swamp Moss Lurker comes down. That's a very, very powerful turn. That's kind of what we were thinking of that Sam might do with the Rumble Spark. Get a lot of value out, couple bodies, but instead, Hellkite gets the big swing.
Unfortunately for him, he's off Forge, so they're in the back. But it's okay.
We do see the Chaining Worm, and this time it's able to proc an extra spell. We get the Warbringer Ritual. That Warbringer Ritual is really nice to get leveled up, as it lets you play more spells. It has like a chaining effect to it. And we see the Soul Reap again coming down to deal with that elemental. Although this time there is the Beast to also heal the extra damage and deal damage to Nathus. Very aggressive board state moving onto the Forge, going to be able to put out even more pressure this next turn. But a 10-8 and a 4-6 is nothing to scoff at, going against only a 1-4, though that could get pretty big pretty fast. See the Glow Hive Siren coming down, healing 4, gaining 4 attack. Hellkite's got a very sizable health lead and a very sizable board.
Yep. Starting to pull away a little bit. He just needs to push some damage through. See if Sam can deal with this board state.
Now, if Sam does have the Elementalist, being off Forge, we'll be able to move this Elemental with Gale Surge, the Spell Sprite, into an unblocked lane, potentially flipping Rumble Spark at the end of this turn. See the Om Nom Nom coming down. Unfortunately, it does not kill off the Swamp Moss, so there's no zombie, but it does take away all of its attack. It's also going to buff that Spell Sprite.
Ouch.
Okay, we're going to see, yeah. Forge Seal come down. Going to get a Death Touch. There is no Spirit in play, so you don't get the extra health. But it does bring that up to level 3, so next cycle we can see Army Commander come out. Army Commander 4. Can we see the Lyria come out? Looks like there's only one level 1. It's going to be the Asir Mech Mage. Then the Shadow Strength comes out as a free spell and give the Lyria extra attack. And it's also going to be the spell needed to activate the Seer Mega Mage. See the Gale Surge being used to buff up his creatures so his Lyria can trade with the Ravager, and that his Mech Mage. It's not going to need to trade that. It had 0 attack. Is going to be punched for 4, though. That Glow Hive is sticking around, though it will be able to be taken out by the Seer Mecha Mage next turn. Will we see the Nova Elementalist bottom 5 again? Playing the Nova will give a spell for the Seer Mecha Mage to kill off the Glow Hive.
Hey, there it is.
Looks like that's what's going to happen. Oh, unless he could activate just to proc the Rumble, since the 4 attack, that is what he's going to do. And that's why he won Worlds last year instead of me. He sees the good plays to make. Okay, we see the Leyline Vermin coming in to silence the Rumble Spark. The Death Touch can't hit it, although it's not till next turn. We see the Disintegrate to get rid of the Leyline Vermin. But the Leyline alone wasn't enough to kill off the Rumble. I wonder if there was maybe an attack buff or some form of AoE that Hellkite had planned. We see the Hibernating Shambler come down. We finally get one of the 3 Shamblers out. This has been a light on the Shamble game. Suddenly, where it seemed Sam was really on the back foot through the whole game, that Rumble Spark out, suddenly he's moving forward with a nice board, and has really, that life total difference has dwindled here. And 16 is still a lot of health difference, but we've got Hellkite below 70 now.
Yeah, it's closer than 22. And as you said, as they go into cycle 3 here, the Death Touch can't hurt the Rumble Spark.
We do see the Leyline did get fully leveled up. So even if the Leyline itself isn't able to silence the Rumble Spark the turn it comes down and kill it, it might be able to whittle it down and then get it on a second turn. Although I believe that Leyline level 3 has at least 8 attack. It might have 7. We've got Hellkite here on Forge. Got a Hibernating Shambler on board. 2 health left. Death Touch, but there's just a 4 attack creature. It's already been whittled down a bit.
1 health.
Probably.
He's asked to see his discard pile. Banish pile. Rather.
Trying to see what is available. You look at what has been played, you know what levels of cards are now available for this cycle. It's been flip-flopping between this. Okay, we do see the ley line. Does have 10 attack. Going to silence the Rumble Spark here. Disintegrate level 3 would be able to deal with the Leyline Vermin.
His
And if that was
it could also help him.
Oh, that's very true because it'll take down the attack.
Yep.
Though if it's either of those options, I wouldn't want to do that till the second action. So Hellkite doesn't put a new creature in the lane. I'm Sam here. I'm thinking it's only a 2/2, but I definitely want to get rid of that Shambler. We see the Rageborn Eruptor coming down. No buff on attack, but it has breakthrough. It's an elemental, so if the Rumble Spark, although if the Rumble Spark dies this turn, then it's gone forever. We'll deal with this Shambler. Oh, I spoke too soon. We see the Soul Reap come down, and there is a beast.
It's a big swing in health there.
Yep. 14 healing and 7 damage to the player. That's 21 health swing in one card. And it helps the board. We do see Illyria come out. So this is...
He's got no level 1 creatures in the discard pile, unfortunately.
This is the... Oh, and there was no response for that, so the Rumble is gone. Shambler's off the board. The Leyline sticks around. That's going to be shutting down whatever fancy things Sam's going to want to do next turn. We are now at the 35?
Yeah, 35 health difference.
Yeah, 35 health difference.
Quite a mountain to climb.
With the Lyria as a high attack target on board, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, if no other good targets got put on the board this turn, I think we might see Hellkite Death Touch that Lyria this turn. With Disintegrate being part of Sam's removal tools, that 9 health is looking pretty difficult to deal with. Unless we're just going to see, we see a Furious Shardback. That is a fun kind of Shardback here. It's going to deal 2 damage to itself, buffing its attack by 2, but then also dealing 2 to Hellkite's creatures. It's only 4 attack moving into this 7 health creature. See the hibernating Shambler coming down. We'll be able to trade over the Nova Elementalist. So while we've only seen the hibernating Shambler. Well, okay, we're going to see the Darkheart come down. And Stimbolt to Death Touch that Shambler.
I imagine the Darkheart's going to get Death Touched here.
Yep, that's definitely a better target than the Lyria.
Just working out the math on the damage and health from the Shambler and the Darkheart.
These Necreum versus Necreum matchups can get pretty number crunchy. We see the Mantis coming down. Who doesn't love some life gain and Death Touch? We're going to see Death Touch on both of them. Yep.
We were both right.
Yeah. Porque no los dos. I did see a flash of that Shambling Banshee. Nope, in fact, that's what we're going to see played. We do see the Om Nom Nom being able to take out that Leyline Vermin. I'm assuming we're going to see the Brute come up against that Banshee. Nope. Ooh, that Sated Ravager.
Such a good
This is going to be very strong. And there was the Shambling that just happened. So the Sated Ravager is going to get both buffs.
Oh. There's his removal.
Yep. That's quite the valuable target to get rid of, so that Disintegrate came in pretty clutch. Now moving into, I believe that's the last turn of this cycle. Yeah. And so Sam's got a lot of work to do in 3 turns if he wants to take this around, especially going up against not only just one, but potentially 2 army commanders coming out, giving a lot of tempo to Hellkite.
Yeah, depending on what Hellkite can do with that, I mean, Hellkite's gonna be able to fill the board up with creatures, so Sam's gonna have to maybe rely on like his level 3 Darkheart Sorcerer to try to get some big swings in health with the by playing spells. He does have some free spells in his deck, so there's a possibility he can get 2 or 3 off in a turn potentially. That'll really
Very true.
swing the health
And
back in his
the
direction.
yep. And the Frost Blast, speaking of Hellkite's going wide on board, that Frost Blast is going to be a pivotal tool in helping control that board. There's a 42 health differential. So that's only 4 spells played when that Dark Heart comes down, and that's almost entirely dealt with. Throw a 5th spell in there, and you've pushed through it. He gets to play 6 cards this cycle if he doesn't draw any of his free spells. Still potential. We see the Chaining Worm come down without a spell. Just a big, chonky body.
He only hit that once this game. So
The Glow Hive is going to come in with 5 attack right now, but I'm thinking since it's blocking it, it's going to trade further. What could happen is the Army Commander bringing out the level 3 will get some enough healing to buff it up. Maybe we'll see healing elsewhere.
there you go.
Do you see the Furious Shard back? I believe both times this card has activated, it's only been able to hit one creature. So the Soothing Mantis is going to give the only target that's here is the level 3 Glow Hive Siren. Just going to heal even more, so that's 95 is a large amount of health.
Yeah. Combat now.
See trading off of 2 of the 3 lanes, and that Glow Hive is going to live, as well as the Furious Shardback.
.58 health difference right now. But I didn't see either of his free spells in his hand when he showed them. So he still has Wrath's Will, Dark Heart, Shadow Strength, and to draw potentially.
Yeah, and
he's got,
if he's...
So I was going to say, Warbringer Ritual will let him play a spell for free as well. So he's got some options still. He needs to get that Dark Heart out.
I imagine if he's got that Warbringer Ritual in hand, if he has the Dark Heart plus Warbringer Ritual plus the 2 free spells and 1 other spell, so it's a 4-spell hand, that he could do all the free stuff on first action and then follow it up with 2 more spells on second action. See Hibernating Shambler come down. That's a 14-18. Anytime something dies, it's going to drain for 3. So even with the fanciest of Dark Heart plays that we could possibly imagine, so we saw that Shambling Geist come down as the card play, and we saw the Hibernating Shambler come out, the Army Commander.
There's Warbringer Ritual. It must mean we don't have a Dark Heart.
Nope. Looks like we're just going to have some tokens to chump block with. Dancing around these Shamblers and also trying to... Ooh, oh, that's a way to start dancing around those Shamblers. The Spell Sprite will be buffed up. potential for one more spell to also trade with into the Shambling Geist. Ooh, and that's very big. And this time it has breakthrough. The sated line breakthroughs added on the level 3. Already seen the Disintegrate come out on a previous Ravager.
He used his Om Nom Nom up as well.
Although even an Om Nom Nom in this situation wouldn't do very much. 24 attack is a lot bigger than that 10 attack we used before. Okay. I'm just going to whittle that down.
Yeah, it's got it within striking range.
So we have 24 breakthrough coming in. 2 things will die from shambles right now. You see the Zeraths will get a zombie to block 3 of this 24 damage.
That's a zombie brute, so it should block 6.
Oh, yes.
That's a lot of damage to be taking. He activates Frost Blast.
So it's okay. It's going to take 2 drain from the shambling and soften the Ravager. Died of this trade. Sam is still alive. Can potentially give stealth to that very large shard back next turn, but 70 health in 1 turn? That's going to be a very, very high swing to make.
It's sitting at 1 health, too.
Yeah, can't even activate the Furious. He could, just to do the damage. See the Rageborn Eruptor coming down. No Exalts. It's just a 5 attack breakthrough creature. Sam has definitely had some unlucky draws this game. Bottom 5ing the Nova early on, missing out on a lot of the Chaining Worms. See that regenerating Batterhide to push the Furious Shard back and make it unable to activate its effects. Took out the best target for the Shadow. See Lyria come down. Interesting that we saw the replacement there instead of replacing the Furious Shard back that got pushed back. That Swamp Moss comes down, and we see that Shard Witch, or not Shard Witch,
Swamp Moss.
Swamp Moss, but the Hag, Gloom Reaper Hag. There we go. That's the name. Card that came down before. Oof.
Yeah, that was a good matchup. Unfortunately for Sam, he didn't draw his Nova Elementals till late in cycle 2, and Hellkite just kept gaining health, like his deck does. Makes it hard
Yep.
to defeat him.
And then there was that Ravager and Swamp Moss play very early on where there's just a huge swing in stats opening into that cycle after missing that Rumble. But then living to make it all the way through cycle 4 into sudden death, it shows that even if the engine doesn't pop off and get going very aggressively, there's a lot of staying power in Sam's.
Yeah, his deck's very resilient. He's also got a lot of ability to gain health back. He also just didn't get lucky with the Dark Heart and the timing with the spells as well. So just one of those games where you can't help what you draw. You just gotta do the best you can. But a well played match by both players.
He set himself up as best he could. There was the turn potentially where he could have played 4 spells with a Dark Heart down that would have brought things to almost even. That's one of those things in these decks that can have these explosive combos. It's like, don't feel like you've lost. Stay in it and keep trying. Maybe there's an opening if you get the right draw. Or if all things go right, just playing to your outs and trying to stay in it, because this whole game having such a high life total it's a difficult thing to play through and try to keep in a good mindset without feeling like there's no way out.
Right. Yeah, when you're playing and you draw a bad hand, you just have to remember that your opponent can draw bad hands as well. Even if they have the lead, it can give you an opening and maybe swing the game back in your direction. So, all right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this round. We are going to have our next video will be round 4, which is going to see us. We'll see Steve Walters again as he continues to win. He's going to be going up against Evan Gascoigne. Not sure how to say his last name. He's not on the Discord. He's somewhat of a new player, but he's got a really, really, really solid deck. And so we'll get to see them two square off. That'll be an interesting matchup. Thank you, Eli, for joining me again. I appreciate your time and your commentary, your expert analysis on these matches.
Happy to be here.
All right. And now we'll update the standings and the matches, and you guys will see that after this. So thanks for being here and watching. We appreciate all the support.